Hello, welcome back to another episode of Eat and Talk. I'm Yusra, and I'm really excited to be sitting here today with two legends, honestly, Abdi and Abdul. Don't be humble. That's what my co-host used to say. Don't be humble. We're gonna dive into it, you guys. Abdul and Abdi. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, but they are D1 college basketball players, East African Somali, born in Minnesota, raised in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm really grateful that you guys are here today and you guys are traveling.
Thank you for having us.
We have a exciting event coming up this weekend. It'll already be done by the time this episode comes out, but the Bashir Brothers Camp and the first one, right?
Yeah, first one.
How do you guys feel?
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. It's a great cause. Just giving back to community that helped raise me and the community that I love being a part of, and just giving back to the young kids is definitely a blessing to being able to be in this position to give back to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I know we both wanted to do for a long time, and now we have the platform to do so and the resources to do so. So, I mean, giving back to kids that look up to us, like people gave back to us when we look up to them. So that's the main thing.
That's amazing. And I feel like you guys are still kind of kids yourself. I know you guys are grown.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
21, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I feel like 21 is kind of a monumental stage in life,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you make I know 18 we turn adults, but I feel like 21 is like, I'm an adult.
Yeah, that's when stuff gets real for sure.
It gets real.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's backtrack. I want to learn more about like you guys' childhood. How did you guys get to? Has basketball always been a dream of yours?
Yeah, I mean, a basketball got put in our hands when we were really, really young. Our older brother used to take us to the gym all the time. We used to go to the park, and it was a lot of us. Me, my twin brother Abdi, and my older brother Adam. We were all around the same age. So just growing up with brothers that are around the same age as you, I mean, you're kind of forced to do a lot of stuff together. So we'd go to the gym together, go to the park together, do everything together, be outside. And technology, we didn't really have a lot of technology. We weren't really like iPad kids and stuff like that.
Good.
We
Thank God.
we missed that generation by a little bit, but
Yeah.
basketball got put in our hands when we were really, really little, and I'm happy for it. It's something I love to do. It's something I love doing for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, having a lot of brothers, especially my oldest brother. My oldest brother used to take us all, like, everywhere with him.
Yeah.
We used to walk to the community center, and he used to make us play with him, even when we couldn't compete. He just loved having us around, and he taught us how to play a little bit. He wasn't too good, but he taught us how to play a little bit.
Hey, he taught you guys the game, so
Yeah.
But nah, shout out to him. I mean, he put that skill into us as a young kid, and then I met a lot of people along the way that helped me, and I'm blessed to be here now.
and you guys like just genuinely love the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure the height kind of helped,
Yeah,
right?
hit a growth spurt a little late. That definitely helped.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it happen late?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I want to say freshman year, we were sub 6 foot. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then we just kind of grew from
We
there.
went from there.
Hit a little like maybe 3-4 inch growth spurt over the summer. We kind of grew at the same time. We were never One of us was never really taller than the other one. So
Yeah.
hit a growth spurt a little. We were late bloomers for sure.
That's so cool. Okay, so obviously, you guys were born in Minnesota, but you guys left at a really young age,
Yeah.
right? And you guys moved to Omaha.
Yeah.
I want to know, and we've talked a lot about Omaha off record, but I really want to know what it's like as a Somali growing up in a place like Omaha.
Omaha, it's not a big Somali population, so like all the Somalis kind of know each other. Everybody like knows every family. Somehow somebody's related to somebody. So I didn't hang around a lot of Somali people when I was growing up. I hung around a lot of Sudanese people, like all my best friends. Everybody that I grew up with was South Sudanese. And yeah, that's why I kind of claim both now. I mean,
Yeah, you're
I
like,
claim to be South
you're South
Sudanese and
Sudanese
Somali.
and
I mean,
Somali.
obviously I'm 100% Somali, but
yeah.
just being a part of different communities and different cultures, like East African culture is all pretty much the same, you know what I mean? So but they're different in ways too. So being around both of those and having Somali friends and having Sudanese friends, it just kind of like helped me become like kind of the man I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, like it was. We didn't really have a lot of Somali friends like growing up in Omaha. I mean, we would still go to Dixie and stuff like that, so we'd be around our people. But when we went and played basketball or went to the park or something like that, we were around a lot of Sudanese brothers, and I'm still close with all of them to this day. Some guys I grew up with since we were like 6, 8 years old, something like that. Growing up with them, being around them, it's a different culture and different. They're very athletic, so they beat up on us a little bit when we were younger. They were a lot better than us when we were younger.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped us become like the basketball players we are today, being around people like that are that good and that athletic, and they're all pretty tall. So
Yeah.
and being the short one of the bunch is never really nice.
Yeah. But it sounds like it was space one, there's community there.
Yeah.
And it sounded like also the culture existed, regardless if it was a different background, but you guys had the same values, traditional values. And then the challenges were that you guys were able to overcome because, being shorter, being smaller, but playing at that level with brothers who, can kind of teach you how to keep up. I think that probably you guys benefited from it.
Yeah, no, that definitely helped us for sure.
Yeah. So, with that, I know growing up, every boy picks up a basketball, falls in love with the game, but not everybody continues to play, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their like hooping dreams, and at some point they fall. How were you both able to like really stay dedicated and grow? And were there times where you were like, oh my God, like this might not work out? And how are you able to overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, for me, I could say obviously having brothers was a plus, but having a twin was like the the cake on top.
Partner.
You know what I mean? So just somebody like a built-in best friend you could go anywhere with, do anything with, same friends, same everything. You know what I mean? So it was easy to like fall in love with the game and stick to it when you have somebody that you can do it with. You know what I mean? So just having that, and then obviously like as we got older, our journeys went different ways, and just staying in touch. Like we were together our whole lives up until like 18, and then we both went our separate ways. But it was still that understanding of like we got work to do, we got business to do, and we fell in love with it, and then like we just wanted to be the best at what we did. So just that competitive aspect, and then I wanted to be better than him, he wanted to be better than me, so we would just go back and forth all the time. And you never want to see your twin. Obviously you love to see it, but it hit like you don't want to see your twin be better than you. You know what I mean? So you get up and you go, like, you know what I mean? But it's just that back and forth competitive aspect, and we're pushing each other to be great.
And look at you guys. You guys are both like D1 college players, like separate schools, but both equally being excellent in your fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of the same things Abdi said. Having like the foundation behind us, like my older brother, my mom was very supportive. My dad was very supportive of, our dreams to play basketball.
That's important, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt, but like East African parents,
it was hard.
I can only imagine like my brother be like, I'm going to play basketball as a professional career. And my mom would be like, no, get out of my face.
Yeah, our mom, we definitely had some heart to hearts with both of our parents about it, but they understood and they were really supportive. Majak and Jacob were with us every step of the way. There was just the foundation behind us. Like we could never really give up because they would just tell us like keep going, keep fighting. Everything that you're working for is it might be you might wake up tomorrow and have everything you wished for and everything you worked for. So adversity is just something that's a part of life. Everybody deals with it. Everybody has to overcome it. And I think the foundation that we had behind us and the people that we had in our corner, it made the adversity that we had to deal with, it helped us overcome that for sure, because, we're young kids dealing with some stuff that, it's unfortunate. Everybody has bumps and bruises in any aspect of life, and the people in our corner definitely helped us soothe things out, and they gave us the routine and the blueprint. We just had to follow it.
Yeah, that's amazing. By the way, I really loved what you guys said about each other. So if you guys are ever talking ish, play this clip back and be like, remember when you uplifted me?
Yeah.
That's really special. Okay, I want to talk about obviously we know Majak and Jacob, but I really want you guys to talk about, since they're not on screen right now,
Yeah.
who are they, what they mean to you, talk about Rise, what that is, and how you guys got involved.
Yeah. I met Jacob before Abdul met Jacob, so I can speak first.
Okay.
Jacob, pretty much when he was like 17, 18, real young, his cousin was my best friend, Daniel Mondi. And Daniel texted me one day and asked me if I wanted to go play basketball somewhere. And I was like, let's do it. So then out comes Jacob, picks me up out of nowhere, never met him, took us out to hoop, like me and like probably like 10 to 12 other young Sudanese kids. And ever since that day, like he just stuck with us, you know what I mean? And he started a foundation called Ross Leaders, and it was like the best thing that ever happened to a lot of us, you know what I mean? It gave us a ticket out kind of thing, you know what I mean? So it was like we had something to look forward to every day, after school, we had something to look forward to, you know what I mean? So just got us out the house, had us something to do. The streets it's not an easy place to make it out of. Lucky for me, I wasn't in the streets. My family wasn't in the streets, but I know a lot of people that were, and I know the effects of it. And Jacob preached to us at a young age that he had a lot of his best friends, a lot of his brothers in the streets, and he just didn't want that life for us. So he didn't know us. He didn't know too much about any of us, and I was the only kid that wasn't Sudanese at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was not a culture shock, but it was surprising to see. I thought, man, why can't I do it? And he met Majak probably like, I want to say when we were in 9th grade.
Like freshman year.
Yeah. And they both the same reasons as to why they do what they do, just give back to the youth. And ever since that day that we met Majak too, like Jacob connected us with him, and we moved out to Minnesota. We went to a prep school. Majak got us way better at basketball, but it's not even like about the basketball aspect of it. It was just growing as men. And we went through a lot of tough times. A lot of tough times.
Yeah.
A lot of tough times. But
I believe it.
it kind of made us the man we are today. So, I mean, I'm like nothing but grateful for those two, especially because like everything they've done for me, I can't even repay it. Like, it's like it makes me a little emotional. Like when I think about the journey I've been on, because it's like a lot of people counted me and my brother out, a lot of people. And I don't even think to this day have heard a compliment from Jacob ever. He just tough love type of guy, but you understand what it is.
Humble for sure.
Yeah.
It keeps you humble.
They're both like the best human beings I've ever met, and I know they're gonna hold on to this for me. So
Yeah.
anytime I try to say something, they're gonna hold this on to me. So, but it's all good, I can praise them a little bit.
Yeah. You only get so many opportunities. Give people their flowers while they're alive.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, the impact they had on our lives is, they had a very big impact on our lives. They've done a lot of things that, money can't repay. Like time, you can't do nothing to repay it, because they sacrificed their time with their loved ones. Time, money, they did everything for us. And we were young kids, just with big hopes, big dreams, and they helped us fulfill all of that stuff. It's more than just basketball with them. I can go to them for any life advice, anything I need, because they've gone through obstacles in their life that was hard for them. And if they see me going down a road that if there's similarities to the road that they went down, they're gonna help me get through it. It's just they're just great mentors. They help us out a lot. We talk to them every single day, and we met them when we were very young, and the relationship has only grown so much. Jacob, his brother Sam, Ajag, they all just sacrificed so much for us, and they turned us into the men we are today. And without them, they played a very pivotal role in our basketball careers, are us turning into young men. And without them, I don't know what my life would look like for real. So
yeah, absolutely.
that's all love for them.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Thank you guys both for sharing that. And that leads me to say, obviously there's a lot of kids out here who are talented and naturally gifted, but they have the struggles of maybe not having being in the right environment. Maybe there's problems at home. What advice do you give to kids who are just struggling right now amongst everything that's happening in the world?
Yeah, I'll say just the biggest thing I preach is always control what you can. There's only so much that you can control. And once you feed into the things that you can't, it kind of like drives you insane. Like for me, I know the easiest thing for me is to fall back on my faith and my religion. And every time it just humbles me and reminds me of why I got to where I am today was because of my faith and my religion and my deen. So I fall back to that, and some people don't have that, you know what I mean? But there's something that you can fall back on, that there's something that you can go to make yourself humble, to make yourself remember, like, it can, it can't rain forever, you know what I mean? So, and just listen to the people that are in your life that are trying to help you. A lot of people think that they can do a lot of things on their own, you know what I mean? And you never want to be the person that knows it all, you know what I mean? So I just feel like a lot of young kids, like, they want to be I'll do it by myself. I don't need anybody. And, that's just not true. Like,
Especially boys, right? Because you're
Yeah.
expected to be men,
Yeah.
sometimes at a very early age. So there's no space to like be vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, that's what society did to us men. It's hard for men to be vulnerable, especially men of color. They're looked at as like people that are supposed to be strong and all this. But it's my advice would be to any kids that are struggling mentally with anything, that just reach out for help. Go find help. Find people that you trust. Whether that's your parents, your friends, parents, somebody that you trust. Teachers. Just find one of those people, and getting as much help as you can will pay off for sure. Because like Abdi said, it can't rain forever. Sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better, and that's just kind of the way life goes. Everybody goes through some adversity. Everybody goes through things that that happens in their life that they can't really control. But yeah, just reach out for help. Find people that you trust. Find a safe space for you to go through what you have to go through mentally. And just don't avoid it. Don't run away from it, because the more you run away from it, the more you bottle it up.
Yeah.
The more of a ticking time bomb you're creating, and one day it's all gonna just blow up, and you're just gonna lose it. So just get at it early, and just try to get as much help as you can, because nobody can do it by themselves. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
Anybody that you ask that's great, that have accomplished all these things, the first thing they'll tell you is all the people that they have have met in the journey that have helped them get to that point. So you can't do it by yourself. And if you think you can, it's gonna be a humbling experience when you realize you
You can
can't.
only get so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need people for sure.
Yeah. So I'm interested to know during your career, and I know you guys are still at just touching the surface, which is amazing, but is there something that surprised you as you guys leveled up in basketball and being into D1 college? Was there things that you discovered that you're like, whoa, like this isn't something that I was prepared for. This isn't something that you can be taught. Yeah. Was there something that you were just like, this was a very interesting experience as I grew in my basketball career?
for me, I'll say it's not even like about basketball. Obviously, I played well this year, and I wasn't like very known going into my year. And as the year went on, I got an outrageous amount of like Somali support. Um, I don't come from a place in Omaha where there's a lot of Somali people, but like it was insane the amount of DMs and the amount of followers and the amount of love I was getting from the Somali community. So that's the thing that surprised me the most, was that like Somali people really care about Somali people.
They
Like,
do.
They
We
want
love to see us win. Don't
so-
matter where you from or where you're at.
Yeah, I was getting love from some places I can't even name. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to read it.
Yeah.
And like it was one of the best things ever, just to see like my people have belief in me and praying for me, and a bunch of things. Like I read under my comment section, and it's like, I'm praying for you, alhamdulillah, I hope you do well. And it means the world to me, because like it's just nice having that, and I'd rather have it than not have it, type of thing. But that's the thing that surprised me the most.
It's a good surprise.
Yeah, I would definitely say Probably along those same lines, the amount of love we get from the Somali community, um, especially here in the United States. You know, there's just a lot of kids that have very big dreams and aspirations of doing some of the things that, you know, we've been fortunate to do. We've been blessed to be put in certain opportunities that, you know, we can only thank the people that helped us get there. But yeah, the love we get from the Somali community is definitely surprising because, like Abdi said, we didn't come from a place where the Somali community was big. So, you know, obviously they're gonna love on you because, you know, that's who I grew up around, the Somali community in Omaha. You know, they all show me and my family love because we all know each other. We're all pretty close because there's not really many of us. But the amount of love we got from out of the country, here in Minnesota, you know, everywhere in the United States, it was definitely surprising, but in a good way. You know, I was happy to see it, and you know, I get a lot more love than I do hate, and it used to be the opposite way coming up. So
Really?
yeah, and I definitely love it for sure.
Wait, I want to know, what do you mean by it used to be the opposite? Is it
Um,
like hometown
yeah,
hating
just
type of
growing up,
thing?
yeah, just growing up and like always being the ones counted out. You know, always being the ones that nobody really believed in. You know, nobody really believed in us besides ourselves, our families, and like I said, the foundation that we had, Jacob, Majak, the guys that were in our corner. Nobody really believed in us but them. So, you know, it was a lot of just hatred going on, especially as we got older and as we started to get better. Like people would, you know, just say slick things and things like, you know, I'm not like a clueless person. Like I feel like I can get a good read on people and like what their intentions really are. So like, you know, we would just but it is what it is, you know. I mean, like
Exactly.
it it doesn't really get to me, it doesn't really affect me. But I would definitely say like, you know, you're not doing it right if you ain't getting no hate. So
That is true. And I feel like as you guys grow, as you get older, as your careers start to flourish more, the more you'll get more love, and then
yeah,
you'll also get more
yeah,
hate.
for
So
sure. Yeah, you
you got
can't
to figure out ways to pivot around
yeah, you
that.
can't put too much energy into the hate. It's always
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah. Do people put you guys like two and two together? Like, do they know that there's two brothers that are both in different colleges? Like, or do they think there's two Somali players right now that are doing really well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, for me, I'll say a lot of people know that we're twins, but so I still get the occasional like, "Oh, you're the one that goes to Auburn." I'm like, "No, I have a twin." They're like, "You have a twin?" And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Nah,
yeah.
when I was sharing your flyer for the basketball camp, I got like some messages, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, I really like that kid." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Both of them, like which one?" And they're like, "What do you mean which one?" They thought I had put this, like it was one
Yeah.
person on the flyer, and I was like, "Nah, it's twins.
Yeah.
Like play at different schools." And they were mind blown. Like they were like, "Yo," they weren't even Somali. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
They were like, "I've been they're like, "I don't know which one I've been following," but they're like, "I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan.
No,
I did not know there's two of them."
we definitely get that a lot. A lot of people. I mean, I feel like more recently they're starting to see that we are. I mean, there's two of us, but when we first started like blowing up a little bit and getting a lot of love, they really only thought it was one of us. So, but yeah, now I think everybody knows that we're twin brothers now.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. And I think that's what makes this so fascinating, is the fact that Hoya gets to see like her two sons, both, doing exceptionally well in school. Back to school, like y'all have to have good grades, right?
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
in order to like perform well and like
Yeah.
play, right?
Yeah.
So school is still important. I want to give that message to kids, like stay in school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I can definitely vouch for that because
What's that like? Like, how do you balance school and basketball?
it's not really. I feel like at the level that we're at right now, the resources we have and like, you know, you got all these academic advisors, all these people. Like it's hard to like mess up in school because they're pouring so much into you, and like they don't like our coach, like especially at our school, like our staff really cares about academics, and our head coach really cares about us, you know, getting our degrees and things like that. So, you know, they pour so much into us that it's like kind of hard for you to just slack off. So, you know, just balance, just knowing what got you to that point. Like you can't. There's certain things you have to get in order to get into school. Like there's certain GPAs you have to meet. There's certain credits you have to meet if you're coming from junior college. Like there's all these things you have to do. So, that's gonna, like, you have to do it.
It's hand in hand.
You have to do it. If you
Yeah.
don't, there's consequences for it. And I mean, I can speak to it as much as possible because I was in a situation where I had X amount of schools recruiting me out of high school. I messed around in the classroom, had to go a different route. I had to go to junior college. First year of junior college was a little successful, had good numbers, had a lot of schools recruiting me. I had to go back to junior college because I had to get my degree in order to get out of junior college. I was in a tough situation, but I feel like, God does everything for a reason. I feel like I benefited from it. It helped me a lot, but I didn't. That route wasn't really. I'm glad it happened. Don't get me wrong, but it
Yeah.
wasn't really necessary if I would have just took care of the things that I was supposed to take care of. So, all the young kids that's watching, please, please, please try your hardest in school.
Yeah.
It will definitely,
Especially
pay
if you're playing a sport.
yeah, for sure, because you're not gonna be able to succeed without it.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, for me, I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest like school guy. I mean, obviously, I'm in school, and I just don't let anything get in the way of my basketball stuff. That's why I take care of my school stuff.
That's interesting perspective.
Yeah, don't let anything get in the way of what you really love to do. Handle what you gotta handle. I mean, I'll be honest. My freshman year in college, I wasn't the best in school, and then it affected my on the court performance, and just that thought of like, all right, like I'm thinking of school when I should be thinking of basketball. You know what I mean? So my sophomore year, I really matured, and I didn't have any school issues. I went to every class. I passed all my classes with good grades, and then you slowly see, you take care of the stuff you got to take care of, the thing you love to do, and the thing you want to do the most. It just enhances. So just stay in school. Obviously, school first, athlete second. Even if you're the best athlete in the world, I mean, you can't get into school without good grades. So just handle your stuff, and if that's not what you like to do, ask for help. I mean, I ask for help. That's one thing I'll do. I'll ask for help before I get a bad grade or I fail. I'm gonna ask for help. So just ask for help, and there's people out here that want to help you, but closed mouths don't get fed.
Period. That part. That's so true. Okay, I gotta know, who's your guys' favorite basketball player?
Mine's Kyrie Irving.
Mine's Kevin Durant.
Okay, that's pretty good. Why? Why do you like Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie Irving. I just grew up like watching Kyrie all the time. I would see YouTube videos and try to go outside and do exactly what he did, and I wasn't successful, but I would just keep trying and Kyrie practices Islam, so he does Ramadan and a lot of stuff. So I commend
kind of
Kyrie.
A cool role model too.
You know what I mean? So
court,
I really respect him and everything he does and everything he stands by, and he's a crazy basketball player. I hope one day I could work out with him or just see him play. But
inshallah,
it'll
happen. Yeah. And you said KD?
Yeah, KD. I feel like he just paved the way for like bit taller guys that play on the perimeter. And he's really, I feel like his personality off the court is like, he doesn't really do too much. He's never really in no drama or nothing like that. He just handles his business, plays basketball, and is really good at it. So, and yeah, he's just unique game. Him being that tall and being able to do some of the things he can on the court. He got special God-given talent, and a lot of stuff he worked hard for. And yeah, he's a good role model because he just handles his business. He's not too much in all this other stuff, all these other things, all these distractions. Just plays basketball and lives his life.
I love that. I love that you guys both selected who your favorite basketball player, not just because of how talented they are on the court, but who they represent when they're not on the court. That's important. And that's why it's important to know young people are always watching you, what you're doing on off court. Like, you could be a great basketball player, great at anything that you're doing, but if you're, not living up to morals and values outside of that, it can hurt you, or you could just lead bad examples that would lead to bad people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I want to kind of jump back into the basketball camp. I know we touched on it in the beginning. So again, for the base story, this is going to be the first basketball camp that's happening August 8, 9, and 10. Kind of want to talk about, why this camp is important, why it matters, why people should attend in the future.
I feel like it's very important to me personally because when I was coming up, when I was growing up, my Jock and Jacob used to always have these camps for us. And, it wasn't, for them, it wasn't really easy throwing a camp, like, especially when they first started having them, when they first started hosting events like that, they went all out. They brought all of us in, paid for our travel, paid for our hotels, all food, everything. So it wasn't really easy for them. And it's just I built so many close friends and so many brothers through attending those camps, and I have so many great memories from those camps that I still see on my camera roll today. Just a whole bunch of you
It's the
put a whole
best memories.
yeah,
Campus
put
are
a whole bunch of
fun.
teenage boys together in one event. They're bound to have fun, but I feel like it was a pivotal part in my life. It played a big role in my life. Going attending those camps, our first camp. I mean, I think our second camp was my Jock's second camp was in Tennessee, or his first camp, and we drove like 17 hours in a van. And I didn't
That's
even play. We
crazy.
didn't even play in that one. We just went because, just to go see it. Me and Abby,
Observe.
yeah, just go observe. And then the next one, we played in them. And just being in those environments, I feel like it helps a lot of kids, it helps a lot of younger guys get out of their shells, that they build around them. If you don't really like experiencing things or like talking to people, I feel like it just brings you out of that shell and brings you closer to people your own age, people that have different stories, different backgrounds than you, and it builds a lot of brothers. It builds a great brotherhood. So I want to see that for the Somali youth, especially kids of my descent, kids that look just like me, that have the same dreams as I do. Just seeing them and putting them in environments to where they feel like they're wanted and feel like they're loved on. That's what I love from it.
Yeah.
Just seeing these kids and seeing them chase their dreams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same. I mean, he said it to a
Mhm.
T. Growing up, Majak and Jacob hosted Raw So Elite camps, and like they were some of the most fun I've ever had. I mean, I remember the first one. Yeah, like you said, Nashville, Tennessee, or Knoxville, around that area. We didn't play, but it was just great being there and seeing all the high level competition. That's another thing. Like it was a lot of high level competition in those gyms. Like you go down that roster, there's a lot of people that can play.
Yeah.
And just being in those environments, and it, like, we have group chats and it's like 60 people in it, and we still talking to this day, and we went to camp in 2019, 2020, so just them lifelong friendships and the support and everything. And obviously I want that for the Somali kids. So yeah, I can safely say that this isn't going to be the only camp.
It won't. It better
we're
not
gonna
be.
go on a camp tour.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
100%.
So,
Inshallah.
but it's great to see, and just put a smile on these kids' face. And
I think it's gonna be so special because you guys are the first. I know, growing up, like we'd always sign up for these like basketball camps that some of these NBA players do, but I think this will be so cool. It's gonna be the first time that like we have people of the same identity, Somali young men who are going to be able to like lead and like learn from. And this basketball camp is not just like training, obviously, but it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be conversations, and I think this is literally, they will never forget this for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you hold on to a lot of those memories.
Yeah, and you guys are going to be like a key part of their childhood, and that's so special to be a part of, like, that history.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about for sure.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day when these kids grow up, they pay it back.
Right. No, we hope so.
Pay it forward,
they
yeah.
go
I
back
think
to
inshallah,
Host
like
their own camp.
our whole lives, like we were waiting for, and I know you guys are still like young and in college, but we've been waiting our whole lives to see Somali basketball players represented in the NBA.
Yeah.
And so hopefully one or both of you can achieve that. And that's just, after that, it's there's gonna be kids every year being in the NBA, like Somali players, because I think it just takes that one step, and then it's like then they're gonna be recruiting. Oh, them Somali genes, like we got to get these boys on the floor. So
1 foot, all we need is that 1 foot in the door.
Yeah,
We're gonna be good for sure.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So we'll conclude with this. So my friends and I, we are part of a campaign, and we talk about how we can bet on each other. So betting on ourselves and what that means and what that looks like, especially in today's like political climate and everything going on. A lot of us feel lonely in this world. But I think we start off by taking a look at ourselves and our reflection and betting on ourselves. So I would love to hear from each of you. What does betting on yourself mean? What does that look like?
I feel like betting on yourself looks like, I feel like the first step to betting on yourself and improving things you want to improve on is accountability. Just looking at what you need to improve on and just betting on yourself. You're going to have critics. You're going to have people that judge. You're going to have people that are against you, and your back's going to be against the wall sometimes. But I feel like betting on yourself is just overcoming that and, really keying in on the mental piece of, any obstacle I get in front of me, any wall that's in front of me, it's not permanent. So just betting on yourself and, only you can, if you don't bet on yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else can really put that belief in you. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have that you have to be comfortable in your own skin to bet on yourself. And I feel like, I bet on myself a lot in my career. There's a lot of things that people said I couldn't do that I looked at myself and I was like, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. So just having that belief in yourself goes a long way for sure. So I feel like that's what it means to bet on yourself, is just trusting and having that belief in what you're able to do, because only you can. You don't know what you can. You don't know what you can't do until you actually can't do it. So nothing's really impossible. So that's what I feel like it means to bet on yourself.
That's a good answer. It's very true.
Yeah. I've been put in positions where you're kind of forced to bet on yourself, and it shows. Growing up, I always tried to prove things to people, prove things to like my peers, prove things to anybody, and I stopped trying to prove things to other people and started to prove it to myself. Like, why can't I do this? You know what I mean? And I feel like that is kind of betting on yourself. Like, show yourself that you can do it. You know what I mean? Because nobody else is stopping you but you. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, there's always a bump in the road. There's always somebody that says you can't do this, or something that's trying to stop you from doing it. Are you going to be the one to overcome that? And like fighting adversity, betting on yourself. You have to go through something. Everybody goes through something. But are you going to be the person that folds? Or are you going to be the person that pushes through and prevails? Yeah. And, there's pressure makes diamonds at the end of the day. So
that's true. Yeah. Very true.
Betting on yourself. Me and my brother, we bet on ourselves a lot. And you don't get as far as you can get if you don't bet on yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else will. And you kind of have to be a little delusional in the fact of being confident. Like, make your delusion a reality. Like, I remember when I was young, I was delusional that I was better than what I was. Yeah. And it was confidence, but it was also delusion at the same time. But I made that delusion a reality by just staying confident, staying in the gym. And the main thing is humility, staying humble, remembering like what got you there and never forgetting the reason why you are where you are. And for me, it's Islam by far. It's not even close. So always betting on myself and just trusting Allah and trusting everything that I believe in, and ultimately it works out. So yeah.
That's amazing. You guys are like way more mature than your age 21. I feel like I'm talking to you guys are legends, but I feel like I'm talking to very wise young men right now. I'm taking pointers from this. So thank you guys so much, Abdul and Abdi. I always say this, you're invited back. I can't wait to sit down with you guys next year and the year after. I want every year to see the growth and look back at this. And one day you guys are going to be 30 and looking at wow, You were
30.
babies.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can't get
listen,
to
that's
30.
not, it's around the corner.
30 is not around the corner.
You'll be surprised. But thank you guys so much for coming on Eat and Talk and sharing your stories and your journeys with us,
I
and
appreciate you.
and being vulnerable. And I'm really excited to work with you guys more.
Yeah.
And shout out to Majak and Jacob for introducing me to you guys and making this happen. And
Facts.
Appreciate you for having us.
Thank you. It was amazing.
I feel welcome in Minnesota now.
Good. And I did offer them food, y'all, before y'all come at me, and just want to let you know, but they said that they were shy and they don't want to eat.
Just a little bit.
So thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for joining.